Want to find out how you can roast carrots and green beans together for a super simple roasted vegetable side dish or even a topping for salads and bowls? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this really easy side dish that comes together with only 5 ingredients in about 30 minutes. Let's do it. Hi, my name's Christina. I am a registered dietitian and environmental educator and the creator of the sustainable food blog, Fork in the Road. And on this channel, I share super easy plant-based recipes as well as tips for going green in the kitchen. The first step to making roasted green beans and carrots is to gather your ingredients. And for this recipe, we're only using 5 really simple ingredients that you probably already have on hand. First is your carrots. Any variety of carrots will do. I just have a standard carrot that you'll find in any grocery store. Then green beans. You could use frozen green beans, but I like fresh green beans because they just taste wonderful after you've roasted them in the oven. You'll also need a little bit of olive oil to coat the vegetables and help them to brown. And then for seasonings, we're keeping it super simple with just a little bit of salt, pepper, and some sliced garlic. The first step to making roasted green beans and carrots is to preheat your oven and to prep the vegetables. I turn on the oven to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius, and let that heat up while I'm getting my vegetables ready. I give the vegetables a good wash. Then I cut the ends off of the carrots and the green beans. Now, you could actually cut the carrots and green beans into smaller pieces if you'd like to make them a little bit easier to chew. But I love the fact that the carrots and the green beans are long and the same size, and they look really great whenever you serve them on the plate without cutting. After cutting the carrots and green beans, I also thinly slice some garlic, but you could also use minced garlic from the jar as well. Next, I prep the baking sheet. I use just a typical roasting pan baking sheet, and I top it with a Silpat or a silicone baking mat. I love using silicone baking mats when roasting vegetables or anything in the oven because then I don't have any parchment paper waste after roasting the vegetables. Then I add both the carrots and the green beans to the baking sheet. And as you'll notice, I actually like to separate them out on the baking sheet. I don't mix them together. And this is one of my top tips for roasting vegetables because a lot of times one vegetable will cook faster than the other. So if you keep them separated, it's a lot easier to pull that pan out of the oven, remove the vegetable that's done cooking, and then put the pan back in with the vegetable that needs a little bit longer. So I add the carrots and the green beans to the baking sheet. I drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil to coat, sprinkle with salt, pepper, and then I add my garlic on top. Once the oven is preheated, I add the baking sheet to the oven and I let the vegetables cook for about 15 minutes. I check on the vegetables again after about 10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes depending on the oven, and remove them when they're golden brown and roasted but not overdone. To serve roasted green beans and carrots, I simply add them to a side dish and serve them as a side, or you could also let them cool and then use them as a topping for salads or even green bowls. This roasted carrots and green beans recipe is excellent for meal prep. You can actually make it up to 3 or even 4 days ahead of time, store it in an airtight container in the refrigerator, and then heat up for lunches or dinners throughout the week. You can also freeze these roasted vegetables after making them as well in an airtight container or a freezer-friendly bag, and then pull them out about 24 hours before you're ready to cook them and either reheat them in the oven or you can reheat them in a pan on the stove. Roasted carrots and green beans are one of my favorite super simple side dish recipes. I hope you give them a try. If you'd like to print the recipe card and see the full instructions with step-by-step photos, you can go to the link in the description. And if you give this recipe a try, please leave it a recipe rating on the blog and leave a comment below this video letting me know how it goes. And if you want more plant-based recipes, tips for meal planning and meal prep, as well as tips for going green in the kitchen, like this video and subscribe to my channel and come back each week for new videos.